Most of our things were never documented before. When we came to know that they are establishing an inventory, so we were very happy that it's going to be documented and we are going to be part of it.
What we are trying to do is to record down those tasks that we are supposed to do. For example, the rituals, the prayers and all these things. Because if we do not do it, it's always by word of mouth, and as a generation to generation, it gets lost in transition. But if you have a written set of rules or written set of procedure, the future generation can make a reference to it.
Anytime, anything that happened to that us or the record is gone or stolen, we still have another record with the GTWHI, and then it has been properly recorded. So this is what actually we need.
We have to train them to take out, to tell them, oh, this is our ritual, our culture, our festival. You have to learn about this now. Or not, our history is finished.
For me, student pun macam data tu semua kita just simpan dalam dokumen untuk academic work sahaja. For CBI ni boleh benefit kepada community sebab mungkin dia orang boleh buat penambahan sendiri untuk setiap tour ataupun practices yang dia orang buat.
We suggested Georgetown, one because it's a World Heritage Site, a World Heritage City that is known to have a vibrant intangible cultural heritage, and that the community and the government has been already promoting very actively their own traditions. So it's a very good place to begin the first pilot and to show the good practice.
Good evening, everyone. So the main purpose of the briefing is actually for you to consider to be our community partners.
Georgetown World Heritage is taking an active part to get the various communities to contribute their knowledge and ideas towards this CBI. Two of our colleagues attend some briefings in this project.
This project is actually one of the platforms for us to invite collaborations from the communities to explore if the methodologies introduced by UNESCO, is it relevant for the multicultural urban settings in Georgetown? What are the elements that is related, and what about those that we can improve?
Can you please nominate 2 people from your community, so you can also nominate yourself to be the local facilitator?
The purpose of these 2 workshops is to discuss about the methodology for the inventory. This will be done together with the project assistant that we hired.
Their role is to assist the local facilitators to carry out the inventorying process and also helps in reviewing the collected data.
At the first time when we participate on this program, so we have no idea what's actually is going on. When we attended a few calls, then we have a very complete overview on what they expect from us and then what we have to do on behalf.
So before you go out into fieldwork, you have to jot down your plan. How do you want to go about it? Who will be involved? Do you know how to use? What kind of documentation does your community want to use?
The methodology that we learn through this workshop is giving us more approach, more freedoms and more leeway on how to communicate with the community. I'm looking forward to meet the actual resource persons and prompt them with the actual questions and oceans of information about the practice.
Georgetown Heritage have come up with quite a good questionnaires for us to pursue and ask. It's a good way because we have not also get a complete record of what we are doing.
This questionnaire leads them to tell more, and they tell it in a natural way, and that's how the flow goes. It's very step by step. So I find that the questionnaire is very good. We cover almost everything in a very systematic way.
We want to know why we do it, how we do it, when we do it, what can be done to preserve, make sure that people follow it.
It's getting deeper and deeper. So the more we focus on the questionnaire, the more we know about the art. Even my grandmaster, who knows so technical about this art, seeing this some difficult question to answer, he even himself took some few minutes to stop and think and how to answer.
At the beginning,
was a little bit daunting because we were thinking, how are we going to interview people? Are they going to remember? Will they mind being interviewed, because they got to sign the consent form. They asked, what is it? But they were nice. When we explained to them, this is, to show about our own culture, our own Indian culture, to other people to know about it. They were okay. They really came forward to share their ideas about that and give us a lot of information about some of the things. Even I don't know the cultural background of that.
To collect data wasn't so difficult. It was easy because we still have some old people which they have hands-on experience.
It was quite a challenge to get participation. I did it in 3 steps basically. First step was to get some of the elders in the community to come together to identify which particular events we wanted to document. And by that time we had all the questionnaires, and so we asked the questions of the community members and we received answers and we fill up the forms.
Because I went around giving the forms to quite a number of people, and some of them were kind of worried. They look at the language, oh dear, do I really have to go through that? Maybe you get someone else. I have it here, but I'm not very sure how to tell you.
Some of the old ladies I find, either they forgot or they are not able to articulate. Some people don't want to tell you. Then you will die, the recipe will be gone with you. They cannot get what you want. To them it's like, it's an everyday thing, it's a normal thing, it's not important, the details. Yeah.
And with your interview, what kind of format we were talking about? Will it be one-on-one? Do you want to use focus groups where you get a few people together at one time?
Indeed, what we have chosen is the 60th birthday celebration. We call it GTWHI. It is very particular to the Chettiar community. Today we managed to get 5 or 6 of them who have done this to attend today's meeting. And we had to find out what they did during their time.
Our interview time with them is quite short, but they have a lot of things to show us. And they have a lot of stories, more stories to tell us also. I have a Hina Matsuri doll in my house, but I didn't even know the meaning until after this interview.
Now I have added knowledge, like Auntie Rosie said it was Enboy, and I found that it was called Imboy. So now why these 2 different names, So it makes me want to search further.
When we write down those information, so we have to translate that in a proper essays, a proper writing. Okay, that's a challenge, okay.
Because we cannot translate properly, the word, the chamsi. There's no English word for that.
But I find that they do it because of traditional. From the notes, you can find that their answer is very simple. That means they don't really know why they practice this festival. They have very little knowledge, I would say.
When we finish a paper, we will pass it around. Sometimes you miss out something. Some will chip in with suggestion, or some will say, hey, this is not right, and things like that.
From my viewpoint, reading over the questionnaires that have been submitted, they're very well done. It's not obvious to answer so many fields of information and to work with community members who have never done this kind of information sharing before and make sense of it. What's been done is absolutely correct for the time that the community members had.
This is a first step forward that we are trying to empower community really with the skills to do this. Although we don't know will this actually last?
I also did wonder why not do the real way is done, instead of now where it's lost a bit of it. But then also I can see the point of view of Georgetown World Heritage, as in if we don't document the process right now, then 50 or 100 years later, it really will be so different that we cannot even link or connect to the original practices.
It's just a continuity. You see, because once a document is done, it's not to be static, it should be dynamic. Okay? Dynamic in the sense that certain things need to be changed over time.
This is a very interesting project. I think I'm also happy to be in part of it, and I hope it will continue further.
And the community was very happy to participate. I think everybody enjoyed it.
the community, they look forward to the storytelling.
We like to thank this UNESCO and Georgetown Heritage to make us know more about this art, our culture itself, whereby we can put more effort of safeguarding this art for our future generation.